Hey guys, welcome to TechCast and welcome to another one of my videos. I've owned the original Apple Watch more or less since it came out, and today I want to talk about how it has held up, what has changed, and if it's still worth buying. So first I want to dive into how the hardware of the watch has held up. Now I've worn the Apple Watch more or less every day for the past 1.5 years, and to be honest, I'm not very careful with it. I wear it at work, I wear it going to the gym, pretty much whatever I'm doing. And in my opinion, from the front, the aluminum case and the glass, they've held up very well. Yes, there are a few scratches around the aluminum casing and the display looks about the same, but I can't see that when I'm wearing it. It's only visible, when I look at it more closely in very bright lighting. And that's good enough for me. Now, the crown on the side still works like it did on the first day, and I've never had a problem with it. Same with the other button on the side. It shows no sign of aging. It's not becoming weaker or less responsive at all. But before you think this is just going to be one long rave about the Apple Watch, let's turn it around. The Apple logo on the back, as well as some of the writing, has peeled off. And I'm not really sure how that's possible, as the only thing the back of the watch touches is my wrist, but it has. The heart rate sensor also looks quite worn with plenty of scratches toward its center, and it just seems strange to me that the front of the watch, which is always exposed to its surroundings and has been hit into quite a few walls and doors, it seems to be in better condition than the back of the watch, which I would think is always protected by my wrist. But there you have it. Now, is this a big deal? To me, not really. It hasn't affected the performance of the watch at all, and the heart rate readings are just as accurate as they were when I first got the watch, from what I can tell anyway. But if you're looking at reselling the watch at one point, this is definitely something that would bring down its value quite a bit. Next up is the watch band. Now, I have the nylon band on most of the time, which I bought separately. My Apple Watch originally came with the silicone band, but the nylon band has held up very well. It's a little fuzzy around the edges, but otherwise looks like new in my opinion. There's not much more to say here. Now let's talk about software and performance. One of the things I love the most about all my Apple products is that they're always kept up to date software-wise. And it's no different here. My Apple Watch is running the latest watchOS 3.1.1, and for the most part, it runs very well. The animations are smooth most of the time, and the load times of the core and third-party apps have greatly improved, especially with watchOS 3. Now, you definitely have the occasional stutter, especially when trying to use Siri, but for me, it doesn't take too much away from the overall functionality. The good news is, no matter if you choose to buy the Series 1 or Series 2 Apple Watch today, they both have an updated processor faster than the one in the original Apple Watch, which I have here. So considering the software runs acceptably on this older model, it can only get better on a newer one. And when it comes to aging in the software department, the Apple Watch is great. Next up is probably the most important part of any product these days, and that's the battery life. Let's be honest, without good battery life, any product becomes somewhat useless. This is definitely the category that has surprised me the most here. When I first got the Apple Watch, I was able to get a good day's worth of battery life, and with the latest software, that has actually improved. Now on average, I now get 2 days of usage between charges. That's more than enough for me. And because the watch has quite a small battery capacity, it still charges super quickly. So considering the battery life has improved since the beginning, that's awesome. So let's wrap this up. All in all, I'm happy with how the Apple Watch has held up over time. There are the unavoidable scratches and scuffs, and even some unexpected damage on the back. But none of that influences the functionality, and none of that makes the Apple Watch look worn out. Would I recommend the Apple Watch from the aging perspective? Absolutely. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. If you hated this video, you know what to do, but if this helped you out, a like is always appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.